Before we start off this video, I just want to say thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers. That's really insane. That's been a long time goal for mine to reach 10,000, and now we've smashed that goal. And to celebrate, we will be having a Dagonoth King's Mass this Saturday, the 25th at 4 p.m. EST. I'll have a little bit more details about that at the end of this video, but on this Thursday, I'll also post an invite video with all the full details and info for beginners who've never been. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy this video on raids.
Get to chopping, Brad.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
Oh, I can
Andrew,
do this.
did
I'm
you bring your
99,
axe?
I'm 99 rain. I'm woodcutting.
Yeah,
It's one of those skills.
me too.
One of them.
Alright, I'm not the only one cutting now.
Some music on.
Chop chop.
Motherfucker.
No.
Oh, you shouldn't do that.
I was thinking, is there actually... Oh shit,
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
need to
realize this
spec
is
right
right up there. At least we'll cut this fast.
Waste.
Good fight. Alright, if we have a terrible Vasa, I'm blaming Andrew.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
what did Andrew do?
I chopped
He
chopped.
Yeah, expect to cut the shortcut.
Oh my
He's
god.
already 99 and he expects to cut it.
Oh, actually, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're past 99.
It does
Dude,
nothing.
I'm
Dude,
hurting
it's
right
killing
now.
me. You're literally killing me right now.
I'm hurting, dude.
You chopped me. Oh, dude. Okay,
I
that made
love
my
how
night.
It was
first
just a
you
waste of spec.
It was so innocent. You were like, haha, chop chop, and then we're like, no.
I thought
Oh
it
my
tucked it
goodness.
first,
Alright,
but then-
Andrew, just for that, you're running in.
Hey guys, what's up? It's AndrewAJT back for another video for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed that opening clip of me being a dumbass and using the Dragon Axe spec when I really needed to save it for the Dragon Warhammer here on the Vasa boss. But anyway, this is a continuation of my Twisted Bow series. In this series, we look at the Twisted Bow at certain bosses, and is it worth it? Is it worth paying over a bill for? Does it make a huge impact at this boss? Does it hit accurately enough? All that sort of stuff. So today we're going to be looking at the place where you actually get the Twisted Bow from, which is raids, the Chambers of Xeric, just the raids 1. And these clips were actually recorded before raids 2 came out. I think I had like finals week or something going on at the time, and I just never got around to using these clips, but I don't know why, because there are actually a few good ones in here and a lot of different cool bosses to show you guys, as well as some really lucky loots right in the beginning of me learning raids. So let's take a look. So one of the best bosses for the Twisted Bow is actually the Ice Demon, which has a huge damage reduction effect. Watch these Dragon Warhammer specs, which is a very powerful weapon, and we're only going to be hitting like 4s, 12s, things like that, very light hits. But the Twisted Bow can actually punch through its damage reduction pretty well. You're going to see some 20s, 29s in here, which is way higher than you can hit with just about anything else other than perhaps fire spells. And another great thing is the defensive ability of the Twisted Bow to shoot from such a long distance. We're around 10 squares away here, which is way farther than the blowpipe can shoot. So being from this safe distance allows us to avoid the attacks entirely and save a lot of food. Here's one of my favorite bosses to use the bow on, and that is the shamans. As you can see here, the hits are just going to rip right through these guys. And I honestly hate these fuckers because they jump around, they poison you. They can actually stack damage very quickly, just like I can with the bow. But yeah, they jump around, and with the blowpipe, you're running around chasing after them. You know, the blowpipe is a very short range, but with the bow, you can very calmly move around, dodge their attacks, and it just gives you a lot more flexibility as to how you want to kill them. These are one of the most sneaky, difficult bosses because they can just kill you very quick, and you do not want to die in raids. That's really the key. But you see that poison 34, I missed the dodge there, and I got hit for a lot of damage. But once you get it down to one shaman remaining, it becomes a lot easier. And the main thing with raids always, and this is really the advice I give to anyone doing raids, is do your best to not die, because it's one thing to go through a raid very slowly, but it's another thing to die during a raid and have your points ruined, and your points is what determines the drop. So it's better to spend an extra few minutes and drink a few more brews and stuff to make sure you don't die, rather than just kind of being YOLO and going for it and dying, and then the whole raid is pointless because your point total is very bad and your chance of rewards is bad. So the Skeletal Mystics would be a good chance to explain why the Twisted Bow has one major flaw in this chart here. So you guys know that the Twisted Bow hits higher and more accurate based on the opponent's magic level, but as you see here, the buff to accuracy is actually much less than the buff to damage. You know, the accuracy will only be buffed to around 150%, while the damage can be buffed to 250%. So that is why you will notice very quickly if you have a twisted bow that you can hit 80s and stuff, but you hit a lot of zeros along the way. It's kind of like an all or nothing type of weapon because of how many zeros it hits. Now, obviously your accuracy bonus is important. In this video I'm using Void, which is not ideal for accuracy. It gives the percent bonus for accuracy, but it doesn't give the kind of pure raw combat bonuses that D'hide gives. Now, there's actually an interesting glitch with the twisted bow that was going on for many months, including in these clips when they were recorded, that was only fixed pretty recently. You see in this chart that the damage buff to the twisted bow is capped at 250. Well, that cap is actually not supposed to exist in raids. It's supposed to be uncapped, so like if Ulm has a magic level of over 300, it'll hit, 90s, 100s, or whatever. But for a long time, and in these clips, it actually was capped, and no one knew about it. It was a bug, and it was only fixed pretty recently after these clips were recorded. So it's always scary, things like that, glitches that exist in the game that no one knows about. They're kind of hard to test if they exist, and you just have to hope that Jagex will find them eventually. I think there was actually a similar glitch, well, similar in mechanics, where people who completed the Seer's Diary or Kandarin or whatever, they're supposed to get increased marks of grace from the rooftops, but they weren't getting it for years, and it only took till like someone got 200 mil XP there, and then they realized that they weren't getting more marks of grace, and Jagex finally fixed it. So it's scary to think what glitches exist in this game that we don't know about. In general, the blowpipe still has the best damage per second of any weapon in the game versus most monsters, and that's true of many raids bosses as well. This boss, the Muta, is actually a combination of the two. You want to use the blowpipe against the little baby one since it has lower defense, and then the big adult Muta, you can twisted bow from a distance because it has better defense and probably a higher magic level as well to make the twisted bow more worth using. And I think it's really nice for this boss. It makes it a lot less dangerous. You don't want to get bitten by this boss. It can deal you a lot of damage, so keeping your distance and twisted bowing it from afar is a very, very nice strategy for the Muta. So before we get to the loots, and there are a number of them, I want to show you guys a little bit of Ulm, and most of Ulm is actually not twisted bowable, if that makes any sense. That's a new verb I just invented. Ulm is mostly about using the trident and also using the hasta for the stabbing ability. And Ulm is pretty tricky when you learn it in the first place. There's just a lot of different phases of the boss to learn. Little attacks like that where he pairs you with someone, or crystals will appear under your feet, and you have to use your reaction time to quickly get away from them. These puddles of slime will appear on the floor like in Ghostbusters. So there's a lot of things you have to kind of avoid and just learn. But it's actually not super hard to learn. Like if you guys are learning raids, and as long as your combat stats are pretty good, you shouldn't be too intimidated by Ulm as long as you have good people to teach you how to learn raids. So thank you to the people who showed me, Eat My Bread, Kratos, ICX, to name a few, as well Rapture. So thank you to those guys in the Discord who showed me how to learn raids. That was very, very helpful from them. But anyway, there is one part of Ulm which the bow is good for, and let's take a look at that. That's the ending here. So this is perhaps the best use of the twisted bow in the whole game, is this last phase of Ulm here, because it really hits well on Ulm. Obviously Ulm has a huge magic level, and you see that 336 XP drop. You can hit in the 60s, 80s, and now that that glitch is patched where it's not being capped anymore, you could probably hit close to 100, I'm guessing. I'm gonna have to test that out more, but yeah, very good hits here. I'm always bad at this part. I get hit by way too many crystals, but this is always the most exciting part. There's a 75 in there, 358 XP drop. There's nothing more satisfying than seeing these huge XP drops. 405 for the 76 there. That's just taking out massive chunks of damage, and especially this is a very crucial part of the raid as well. People are going to be low on food or brews, potentially, so you want to get this kill in very quick. So it's a good balance between keeping yourself alive with the brews here and also just trying to kill Ulm as fast as possible. This is definitely one of the more hectic parts of the raid because it's very difficult to drop each other food or making sure your teammates are okay. But yeah, coming up on the kill here, and just to show you guys, another big hit there. 88 to finish it out. And did this raid we get anything? I do not think we did, but luckily there's my 19th one from a while ago. This was actually a slow one. I had raids that are around 25 minutes. That was my best time, I think. But let's take a look at some of the loot.
All right, Chade.
Yeah, good luck. Come on, sacrifice.
That's a Rambo.
Sacrifice for the own pet.
Oh shit.
Sacrifice for the own pet.
Elder Maul.
wait.
Oh my god.
Wait,
Oh
what?
shit.
Elder Maul.
Fuck.
Nice.
Fuck, bro. Fuck, bro.
Oh my god.
No!
Yes, fucking finally.
No, you don't understand.
Bro, that's the
Thank
same range
God.
as Twisted Bow, bro.
I know, but it's a good
Oh
job.
It
my
could have been a
God.
T-bow. Alright, I've seen it now. I've seen it now.
Wow, my first ever drop from raids, it's an Elder Maul. So that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. I was happy about it at the time, but looking back, basically the way it works is we hit the Twisted Bow drop table, which is the rarest one that you can hit. So basically when you hit the Twisted Bow drop table, there's a 1/3 chance of getting the Twisted Bow, there's a 1/3 chance of getting the Kodai Insignia, which is a little bit over 100 mil, and there's a 1/3 chance of getting the Elder Maul, which is only 40 mil. So basically we got really lucky and really unlucky. So I was 1/3 chance away from getting a Twisted Bow as my first ever raids drop, and we didn't even get the Kodai one. We got the Elder Maul, which was only 40 mil, and a split of for the 5 of us below 10 mil. So kind of really good luck and really bad luck at the same time.
Everybody click trade.
I did.
Oh, white.
White.
Oh.
Oh, we got
Okay.
something. Arcane.
How did wait? That doesn't work then.
What?
No,
How did we
Brett
not know
didn't
that we
say
didn't
anything.
get something?
Brett didn't say anything.
No, Brett is
Yeah.
muted. That's why.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Brett.
Yeah. A little late on that one.
Yeah, you're.
That's a good hit.
All right, should be dead after that.
Alright,
Yeah, 81.
boys.
Nothing. I got some. I got some. I got something.
All right.
What do we do now?
Ready?
Okay, no,
Alright,
just wait till
3,
we...
2, 1. Arcane.
Oh,
Shit.
no!
Motherfucker. How do
Why
we
do
always
it?
get arcanes?
Yeah, we always get fucked, dude, with the
Yeah, that
arcade.
sucks. That's like 12.
Yeah, Andrew, last time you were with us,
Yeah, we got like a whole bunch of
It's dropped even more. It's 11.
Yeah, I like.
Trade.
like the way
Trade.
we're-
It's about to die. Trade.
I'll be right back right when the raid ends.
Alright, he's dead.
I got something.
Oh, are
I
you
got
kidding,
something.
dude? Holy, stop.
I got something.
It's Arcane Prayer Scroll. I'll be right back.
You're joking. Oh my god. I'll be back. I'm gonna go kill myself.
Dude, Andrew, fucking...
Kidding.
Andrew's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm not waiting for this shit.
Yeah. So what? You want to stake it again, or what do we want to do?
What the heck, Jagex? Back to back to back Arcane Prayer Scrolls, each only worth about 12 mil, which when you think about it, that's not a very big split for around 4 people. Those could have equally been 3 Dexterous Prayer Scrolls, which are around 80 mil each, but instead we got 3 Arcanes. Identical chance of getting the Arcane and the Rigor Scroll, and we got the Arcane one 3 times in a row. My luck with this game can be pretty insane one way or the other. Not sure if it's good, not sure if it's bad, it's just plain weird. 3 Arcanes in a row, 3 consecutive raids, raid 12, 13, and 14. So after those drops, I will conclude that the Twisted Bow is very, very good at raids. I think it's a very nice tool to have, but you don't absolutely need it for raids. The people who didn't have the Twisted Bow in my group could actually do better than me at raids because they knew the raids better and they had been doing them for longer. So it's not like a crutch. You don't need the Twisted Bow. It's just something that if you want to do your raids even quicker, it's very, very nice to have. That's going to wrap up this video, guys, but I do have one thing to announce, and that is the Dagannoth King's Mass will be on Saturday, and that is August 25th at 4 p.m. EST, and this Thursday on August 23rd, I'll have an invite video up, which will have the full details as far as where we're going to meet and everything, and you know, what you need for it if you've never been to Dagannoth King. So look for that video on Thursday, but I will say now that unofficially the Dagannoth King's Mass will be this Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern if you're watching this video roughly when it was uploaded in 2018. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please join the clan chat, AndrewAJT62, that'll be up on screen. But even if you can't join the clan chat, like you already have one of your own, feel free to join our Discord. Our Discord is where I was actually taught how to do raids, and there is a raids channel in there, and I also just added a PKing channel recently. A lot of people going out doing bosses and groups in there, or raids, or PKing trips, so feel free to join the Discord. The link for that will be in the description. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. It always takes a little while to edit these videos, especially this one. I had to go back and kind of re-watch these clips. I really should have just got this video out quicker when these clips were recorded, but I did take the time now to re-watch them so I could fully understand them and everything. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click the bell to get notifications whenever I upload. You can also follow me on Twitter down below. I'll follow you back if you play RS. You can follow my Twitch down below, and I will be streaming the Dagannoth King's Mass, so look forward to that. Also, keep an eye on the end screen. I'll post the playlist of all my Twisted Bow series videos, so you guys can enjoy that. Thanks, guys, and have a good one.